Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. I'm the man here that makes it all work. Would please consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Hit the like button if you dig what I'm breaking down, and so on and so forth. Mainly, I really want to talk on Michigan football this week with it being a big game. What's going on with the Redskins, some NBA stuff. I really do. But I'm going to get into a couple of boxing points, then I'm going to get on out of here. I had my gut reaction when we saw the Aveiro Spinks car crash a couple of weeks ago. And, I tweeted out there something about, and now once he was healthy, it was announced that he was healthy. My question was, and now we got to get to the cause. We need to understand that. Or not that we need to understand it, but a man tears up his damn car and gets ejected from his vehicle and almost kills himself and could have killed somebody else had they been on the street at that particular time. People got to have answers. And it comes out that he has been issued a DWI. I think it was a misdemeanor B or something. Like I said, and Buddy McGirt, Bomac put up the videos of Aveiro Spinks intoxicated or drinking in the following weeks after the Porter fight. And like I said, my question was, I've seen him wet, a couple of times at some fights and whatnot, hanging around, enjoying himself in his downtime. Okay. But now, what I had started seeing in the last couple months, a couple weeks, was concerning. And again, I don't know if it's really a problem, but just as a world-class athlete, your lifestyle outside of the ring, his comments about strength and conditioning and nutritionists and all of that, seemed like he was kind of second-guessing his choices and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. How does this impact boxing? How does this impact his career? I mean, I guess we still haven't been given any update on what his physical condition is altogether. Who knows when that will be? The fight is out there for January 23rd with Danny Garcia. We'll see what goes on with all of that as things continue to develop. I wanted to go back last night. I tried to do a live stream to illustrate a heartfelt, a profound display of brotherhood, respect, love, admiration, and camaraderie that I saw at Wintrust Arena with regards to the late Patrick Day. He's gone, passed away at 27 years old as the results of a traumatic brain injury that was sustained in his fight with Charles Caan this last Saturday in Chicago, which was streamed on the Zone. But due to the Wi-Fi signal that I had, some instances where the signal dropped and everything, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't do the moment a disservice. But obviously, the house fighter is Conwell in this situation. Conwell, has this USBA belt, wants world titles, wants to get into be a contender, to build himself up into contention status, and Pat Day is serving as this means to get there. But then, Pat Day coming off of his loss to Carlos Adames, he feels like, hey, I have more time in this game than this young man. They picked the wrong one. If I beat him, I put myself right in the mix. And so it was a lot at stake here for both men. But they were both professional and good sportsmen about this whole thing. Shook hands at the weigh-in. No real, for lack of a better word, no funny business. Straight up just boxing. So anyway, we come out for the fight, and as the fighters, they did their ring walks and whatnot. Who knows who in the building this fight means anything to? It was pretty full at the time that these guys entered the ring, but a gentleman that was part of Day's team, the group that was with him, the past 24 hours or so that I was observing things. This guy walks down, out of the crowd, his buddy, his friend, and he's about 15 feet outside of the ring, behind his corner, and he has this red belt, and he stands with it in the air as they're introducing, Pat Day. And like I said, he's just standing there with this belt, representing his dude, and it was right in the walkway. Like I said, it was outside of the barrier that's around the ring. And, I just sat there and noticed it. And I just thought that, you need people on your team like that. You need people in your circle like that. You need people who believe in you as much as you believe in yourself and who are willing to be a stand for you. Like I said, in front of 9,000 people, somebody could have looked over at him and been like, what's wrong with this idiot? Or said something and dismissed this man altogether. But it didn't matter. He stood there and let it be known that, our fighter, our guy, is a champion too. His career matters. We came to win. We came to compete. Let's go. And I just thought that was really dope, man. I really do. I wish I would have taken a picture of it now that I think about it. But like I said, if you've been watching social media and you follow a bunch of boxers and, boxing figures on Instagram, Twitter and whatnot, you're seeing dozens and dozens of guys come out. Even Rashad Mati, Nikita Bobby, Daniel Jacobs, those guys were there, not Jacobs, but Bobby and Mati. They were there, and I think Dave went to dinner with those guys, and they just being all from New York, they were kicking it and whatnot. And so, yeah, man, I'm sorry I really didn't speak with the guy before the fight. Like I said, college graduate, and if you read the Bella Entertainment statement, he didn't need boxing, and he carried himself like that. I can box, I love to box, I do box, but there was story beyond that. In light of this, sometimes putting some thoughts out here and talking about boxing on the channel, man, and saying different things about black boxers. And calling them out for different things or disagreeing with them, draws a lot of heat, some blowback. Excuse me, because sometimes, man, the perception is the family allows the family to do whatever. We stand with them in whatever. If they making money, if there's somebody, they have free reign or to do whatever they want to do, and we nod our heads and we go along with it. And, I just think now, in like circling back to a video that I'd made where I stood in opposition of, I frowned upon Deontay Wilder saying, I want to catch a body. And some people come out and say, silly, he's promoting a fight. Do you think he really means it? That's not the point. It's because in a situation like this where it didn't even look like the circumstances to create a death in the ring or from the fight, it happened. So, and right now, over the last 96 hours, can you imagine what Charles Conwell, he's chosen to be a fighter. This is what he's worked his whole career for, being an Olympian and all of that, all of the amateur training, fights, travel, activity, everything that was devoted to that. And now to sit here to hear his message on Instagram and what he's gone through as an individual, where he doesn't even want to do this anymore. But then I'm not supposed to sit here and I hear something like Deontay Wilder on ESPN, I believe, with Stephen A. And you say, I want to catch a body. Just like, what if you out with your partner, he had a bad week at the house, and you're out getting splitting the picture or whatever, grabbing some wings, and my man was like, hey man, my wife was bugging, man. Sometimes I just want to kill that beat. Just we coming back from a trip, I just drive us off the bridge. And I know some of us have been there, but that doesn't make it right. It's got to be some self-control. And maybe that's not even a good example, because that's probably been said. Maybe that's been said. I don't think I've ever said that. I don't think I've ever been that mad at my wife in 17 years. But like I said, that might not have been a good analogy. But it's just unnecessary, man. Like I said, it's a sport. It's a deadly sport. It's a dangerous sport where the wrong thing can happen at any particular moment. And very fortunate that all these rounds and minutes and seconds and punches, thousands and millions of punches over the course of the year, that this doesn't happen more. But again, for me to be attacked, and called and people coming for me because I said that was unnecessary. Like there's a million ways to sell a fight, but that's neither here nor there. I just thought back to that and was like, wow, it's amazing what's deemed acceptable, and then who you attack for speaking out on normalcy. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. I did want to get into my Alexander Gvozdyk and Aveiro Beterbiev light heavyweight unification fight. I believe that's tomorrow night. I haven't even really looked at the schedule just yet. I did see this is the Luis Collazo is on that card. Sonny Canto, you won't see him, but a heavyweight that they're grooming out of Philadelphia with the card being in Philly. I think the Adormo brothers, at least one of them is on there, but I think both of them are on there. Michael Seals. It is what it is. But looking at the fight, the matchup, Gvozdyk, he has the better win, obviously, with taking down, Stevenson, who had been a top lightweight or the top ranked lightweight for, a prolonged period of time. I didn't get to see that fight because I was at another fight. I was traveling somewhere to a fight and didn't get to check that one out. But he has that win. But he's been up and down with his performances, in my opinion. He might even have the better trainer in Teddy Atlas. But I don't know, man. Just like, I kind of don't know what he is. I mean, he boxes well. I've seen him get some guys out of there. But he's just been a bit inconsistent, in my opinion. And I kind of you get to a point with some fighters where you get impatient with them on what they are or what they aren't. And that's probably what I'm guilty of here. Like, I really don't have the patience for Gvozdyk anymore. Some of us with Bevo, you might just not have the patience to see what he is, to wait for him to fully manifest what he is as a fighter. And that's kind of where I am with Gvozdyk. Like I said, good fighter, Olympic pedigree, a world champion. Nothing wrong with him per se. It's just, like I said, I think I'm siding with Beterbiev because of the grit, aggression, and I see him maybe being reckless enough to try to get Gvozdyk out of there. Whereas Gvozdyk, I see maybe trying to go 12 rounds and pick and choose if he goes for it. But the hot rod fight with Beterbiev a couple months ago was a little sloppier of a outing for Beterbiev. He did get knocked down against Callum Johnson in Chicago last year. But like I said, I've seen him at his lows. I've seen him bite down and gut it out. And I guess that just leaves me in a better feeling to get this, for him to get it done, to figure out a way to get it done, and probably avoid going to the cards. If it goes to the cards, it's probably in Gvozdyk's favor, to be honest with you. But like I said, with this being a unification bout, with some of the lack of excitement on behalf of some towards top ranked cards, I think this fight, I think this card really needs an exciting, action-packed main event, and I think Beterbiev would be the guy to force that issue for that to happen. So I'm kind of leaning towards Beterbiev. I didn't know he was 34 years old. We'll see. Like I said, hopefully, I'm just looking for a good main event. The rest of the card, I like Castillo. I like his game. And Castillo's another one, up and down. I'm not too familiar with this cat that he's fighting. I'm not familiar with him at all. But hopefully, it's a better boxing performance by Castillo, and he asserts himself more. Especially if this guy doesn't. Got a message. So that's that. Let me get on out of here, man. Peace.